Humans, I am your herald of the god. Look at it. Look at it. Now look at me. And welcome back to the Culture Guys channel with your boy Mike. So the DCU has begun. Well, the James Gunn DCU, should I say, the proper title of this next phase of the DC universe. Man, I'm excited. The kid in me is giddy and excited and jumping and doing backflips and all kinds of shit, man. I'm just really excited to see like what's coming down the pipeline, man. Pause. For the DC universe and everything, but it's kicked off, man. A couple of days ago, let's see, I want to say yesterday, as of yesterday, the first 2 episodes of Creature Commandos has premiered on Max, or HBO Max for some of you guys. I'm gonna jump right into it, man. This is gonna be a quick synopsis of my thoughts and everything that happened. It wasn't a whole lot that happened. The first episode was basically a introduction episode, of course, because I'll be honest with you, even to the hardcore comic nerds out there like myself, Creature Commandos are, like I say, I have my tiers, you know, A, B, C, D list characters. These are like D list characters. These are characters you definitely didn't buy the comics back in the day, but we knew of them because they might have appeared in other, you know, Superman, you know what I'm saying, other comics that were in the DC universe, but not major. These weren't major characters. But anyway, boom, we jump right in there. They are, Rick Flag is being basically introduced to the Creature Commandos by Amanda Waller, who, of course, as you know, Amanda Waller is the director of the Suicide Squad. She's the person that's in charge of putting these misfits together and these little squads, these little, you know, rogue teams, whatever you want to call them, to go out on these weird ass missions that no one else wants to do or no one else is tasked to do. So I think she calls this the Creature Commandos Task Force M in the show. But anyway, they jump right in there. She's introducing them to the characters. Of course, it's, you know, it's the bride, who's the bride of Frankenstein. There's Weasel. There is G.I. Robot. And then there is, oh God, what's her name? Nina Mazursky. And of course, there's Rick Flag, right? That makes up the squad. And they get in there, and right out the gate, they go on a mission where they have to protect the princess, okay? And they go out there. And while they're going to protect this princess, they run into some issues. So the bride, where they go back to, the bride's hometown is close by. Basically, the castle, basically, where she was born and where she was created. And so she knows this. So she hops a cab. Her and Nina go to the castle of the birthplace of her. And that's where some flashbacks start to happen. On the first episode, Rick Flag gets into it with Dr. Phosphorus. I'm sorry, Dr. Phosphorus is on the squad too. He's a skeleton that's made of the green flames and all that. He's trying to get so Rick Flag, the way he keeps them under control, of course, this is a ragtag bunch of misfits. You know, they were locked up in prison, and the only way they can get their sentence reduced is if they do these missions for Amanda Waller. Well, Rick Flag's running point. You know what I'm saying? He's quarterbacking this whole thing. So, but he has this remote control, and they've got these electric collars or something on him. And, you know, if he hits the remote control, it zaps them and pretty much puts them back in line. You know, now the old school way in the comics, Amanda Waller had explosive bombs, if you remember, placed inside their heads in Suicide Squad. But this time it's kind of like, okay, we don't want to kill them. We just want to keep them in line. And so Rick Flag and Dr. Phosphorus get into a little squabble, you know what I'm saying? They squabble up, you know what I'm saying? And of course, Rick Flag comes out on top and he gets the remote back. And honestly, it's crazy because nothing comes from that. Like, there's a quick conversation at the end where Rick Flag is like, yo, bro, like, we just all did all that. We just beat each other's ass I'm trying to tell you, like, yo, I'm not trying to kill you. I'm not trying to harm you. We're just trying to get the mission done. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I really wanted to, I could have been pushing this button, but I ain't like that. You know, I'm not Amanda. You know what I'm saying? So that happens. But the bride. So I'm just gonna flow on into episode 2 because episode 1, I'll be honest with you. Let me just run right straight to the end. Episode 2 was the backstory. Episode 1 was no one's backstory at all. It was basically them meeting up. The pacing was really weird. It was kind of fast to me. And I know it's a cartoon and everything, but episode 2 was the backstory of the bride. So she had some flashbacks of when she was created and the doctor that created her. Which would be Dr. Frankenstein. And at least I believe in the DC comics, in the DC world, is Dr. Frankenstein. But he creates Frankenstein first. And Frankenstein keeps, you know, asking him like, yo, when are you I see you falling in love. You got a wife and everything. You know, Doc, like, when are you going to make somebody for me? I want some pussy too. You know what I'm saying? This shit looks like fun, you know? Basically he wants more than that. He wants to fall in love. He sees the Doc in love and he's fond of that and he wants love. And so this is the bride's backstory. While she's being chased by Cersei, who is a sorcerer who feels she's the rightful heir to Themyscira, which is the place where Wonder Woman is. So I'm gonna run straight to the end of the first 2 episodes. At the end of the second episode, again, it's the bride versus Cersei. They have a huge match. The action in the show is dope. It's super fire. And her and Nina end up fucked up. And, you know, there's a cliffhanger there. So they end up losing the fight to Cersei. And that's where the episode stops. But let me run it back. So the Easter eggs in here, they mentioned, because remember, this is setting up the entire DCU for James Gunn. That means every Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, whatever show or movie except the next Batman movie. That one is, I want to say that's Matt Reeves' baby. So other than Batman, everything that's coming forward from DC from this point on is James Gunn, and it's all canon from whatever is mentioned in this first season of Creature Commandos. So they mentioned Wonder Woman, Themyscira. So they mentioned that there's an island of Amazonian women, okay? They did not mention Superman. They did not mention Kryptonite. They didn't mention Gotham. They didn't mention Metropolis. They didn't mention none of that shit. They did, however, mention Suicide Squad. They mentioned Rick Flag's son being killed. They mentioned the giant starfish battle that happened in the second Suicide Squad movie. So those things did happen, okay? And going into the Peacemaker season 2, that's gonna pick up a lot of the story too. I think Superman comes next. That's the next James Gunn offering, and then Peacemaker comes next year. But anyway, the pacing was, like I said, not great in the first episode. Second episode, the backstory of the bride was really dope. You know, James Gunn talked a lot about how these characters are sad and the stories are sad and very tragic, and they are. But the comedy in the show is up. It's kind of what keeps the beat going. The comedy is where the rhythm is. You know, some shows the rhythm is the drama, or the rhythm is, you know, the action. This is the action and the comedy together, but it's more mature. If you like fucking, you like sex in your animation, this is the show for you, okay? There's some titties in there, there's some ass in there, there's some straight up between the legs fucking. The Bride of Frankenstein, she has sex in the like, it's, if, like I told y'all before, I'm a big fan of my, you know, what used to be childhood superhero cartoon characters living adult lives as I'm an adult as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can relate to that shit. So it doesn't need it. It's not necessary, but it lets you know that, you know, James Gunn isn't afraid to push the boundaries and be mature and give you a different tone from what Marvel and Disney is doing. Marvel and Disney is all family. DC is not. But anyway, yeah, the pacing was interesting. The action was really good. The animation looks like something that would be on Adult Swim, to be honest with you. Like, it's a HBO Max or Adult Swim type of vibe is what I got from it. The humor is Adult Swim type of humor. It gives me Venture Brothers vibes for real. It's got that dry humor, that kind of, you know, stop, pause, sarcastic, dry humor type shit. I like it. So far, so good. I really liked the second episode, probably because it had more of the action and you got to see the bride and Cersei go at it. So far, I'm liking the show. I know there's more to come. I imagine that every character is going to get their own backstory per episode. I'm curious to see what the hell the Weasel's backstory is. And also remember, this is canon and these characters could be live action going forward. And whoever voiced the characters will be the live action counterparts. Again, it's an interesting kind of plan, but we'll see how it goes. That's all I got, man. Leave your comments down below. What did you think about it? If you know anything about the comics, then you know, or if you know anything about Creature Commandos, then you know that they don't make too many appearances anywhere else. But we'll see how that goes with Superman and everything else. All right. I'll see you on the next video. Y'all better pull up. Don't do it for me. Do it for the God.